Just want to invite you all to just connect with your heart space. Perhaps we're going to connect to our inner child. We're going to connect to that part of us, that innocence, that fun-loving, forgiving child. The child that was light on the feet, happy-go-lucky, seemed to just flow through life, really. Playful, joyous, and accepting of the circumstances we find ourselves in. And so just inviting you to remember a time when you felt like that, and just really feel into that in your heart space, and just feel your heart open as you feel connected to that time. And with an open heart, I'd just like you to call into your awareness anybody that you would like to forgive. And feel this in your heart. Keep your heart open. Feel that bubbly feeling of love. And just see the person in front of you that you'd like to forgive. Just also bear in mind that sometimes when we dig a little deeper, it's often ourselves that we need to forgive. And that can be because we allowed ourselves to be treated in a certain way. Perhaps we didn't set boundaries, perhaps we weren't as assertive as we would have liked to have been, or perhaps we didn't say no. Perhaps we kept saying yes when we really meant no. And so just placing yourself in front, in your mind's eye as well. You'd like to forgive, all the people you'd like to forgive. As many people as you like, and it could be for the smallest of things, not being there for you when you wanted them to be, not picking up the phone. It can be for big things, small things, it can be for things in the past or things in the present. I'd just like you to imagine this golden light just swirling around you and the people that you'd like to forgive. This golden light is consciousness. This is the light that allows you to see that person through the eyes of God, through the eyes of love, through the heart. And when you do this, you might find you have clarity on why they did the things that they did, or the things happened, or whatever it is, the situation came about. You might suddenly see their pain or how they were feeling at the time that led them to act in that way. Or you might see the lessons that needed to be learned by this situation coming into your life. Just allow this golden swirling light to bring with it an energy of acceptance. And know that when we forgive, it is us saying, I'm ready to move on. When we forgive, we unlock something to enable us to take the next step in our journey, because we're not held back by the weight of a grudge. Sometimes we can get caught in the trap of feeling like that person does not deserve forgiveness. But when we see that we deserve the gift of forgiving them, we see that it's us that is set free. It almost feels like we're rewarded. We're rewarded by being given the next stage of our journey. I'd just like you to imagine now that there's a cord between you and whoever is in front of you that you need to forgive. And to just bring to your attention attachment. Sometimes we can feel attachment, we don't even realise it's there, but we're attached to a grudge. We might be attached to negative thinking about somebody. We might be attached to the energy that we've created between us and that person. There might be a feeling of superiority either way. There could be resent. There's an attachment. There can be an attachment to what's happened through perhaps years of habit, years of maybe pretending to be somebody that we're not, or not being our authentic self with that person because we're afraid of being judged. Whatever it is, there's a cord there. And so when we release that person in love energetically, we feel lifted and lighter, and it's easier to move on energetically, and then we just have to work on the habit of how we hold that person in our mind going forward. And we can do that. We can do that with this new level of consciousness of how they're feeling or why certain things had to happen. So just like you to imagine you've got a great big pair of golden shears, kind of like what you use in the garden, but they're golden. And these shears represent release, freedom, flow, acceptance, letting go, and love. And as we cut the cords, we're going to surrender. We're going to surrender to our higher selves, to God, and we're going to thank the person that we're forgiving for the lessons that they brought to our lives. So just like you to see them now in front of you, and just take your shears and just cut the cords. Imagine yourself saying thank you. And then just hold yourself in the energy of I am free. There's nothing weighing you down now. You can practice this any time. And each time you do, because forgiveness is not just a one-time thing, it's a journey. Each time you do it, your heart will feel a little lighter. And sometimes you might think, oh yeah, I've forgiven that person, it's all good. And then a month later, when you're struggling, when you're in fear or you're stressed or you feel burdened by something, they might come into your mind and you might suddenly feel like you don't forgive them again. It's just a journey. And so we can just do this as many times as it takes and just keep releasing them with love. Everybody's doing the best that they can with the person that they are at this very moment in time and what they've learned and everything they know. And I certainly find that when I remember that, it's a lot easier to forgive and to move on. And as we navigate through change, forgiveness is so crucial to taking the next step of our lives and feeling grateful and light and joyous. When we forgive, we will find that stresses won't be so heavy. We'll be able to cope on a day-to-day basis easier than before. And we'll be able to navigate change with more flow, like it's more effortless. So I just want to welcome in that golden light to bring in any affirmations for forgiveness that you might find useful to carry forward. And you can repeat these as many times as you like throughout the day. And it might just be as simple as I am free, I forgive you, Ho'oponoponopo. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but that's a really good one if you want to look that up, and I'm sure you've already heard of it before, but it's a really good one. And we can just say, I forgive you, I'm free, thank you. Thank you for what you've taught me, thank you for making me stronger in some way. And I forgive myself. I forgive myself.